Hi, in this exercise, I want you to take everything you've learned so far and put it to good use by creating an app icon. This can be used for both iOS and Android. What I'm interested in is how you use smart objects to create a presentation, but also how you design this icon. This will take anywhere from 30 minutes to a few hours. Here are a few tips to get you started. For the product itself, it's best you have an idea about the app. I don't recommend you jump straight into Photoshop and design something for an imaginary product. Instead, I suggest you either use one of my apps, Keyboard Plus or SMS Plus, or go and look for apps that could have their icon improved. That's because an icon has to tell a story in one way or another. To get the essence of a product, you have to first use it, then read its backstory. Both my apps have presentation sites where I showcase their qualities, plus you get to see my existing colour scheme. Take everything in and see how you'd improve it. This is a challenge, it's not a laid-back experience. You have to dig deep into it and figure out what the competition is doing, how you can outsmart it, and how you can create a flagship design. Speaking about it, you have to keep it simple. In general, avoid using clashing colours. This means having blue text on an orange background. That's a major no-no. Stay away from too many elements as well. Initially, when I discussed our icon with my team, we tried to integrate some keys to show that this is a keyboard app. Fact of the matter is, there's not enough room. If you bunch up too many elements inside a 512 by 512 canvas, it won't look right. Plus, whenever you're designing, you'll have to use a mock-up. Here's how this works. You're going to work on a big display, say 1 or 2 24-inch monitors, and you'll be seriously zoomed in. Of course, you can see all those tiny details and differentiate between 3 or 4 elements. On the other hand, if you bring that design to your phone by using a mock-up, you'll see how everything is tiny and it's much harder to figure out what's going on. Here's how we design an app icon at our Android Design Studio. We take a screenshot on our phone from Google Play. Here we can see several competitor apps. We add a rectangle over one of them, preferably with square corners, so we can create a clipping mask. It's essential your icon is exactly the same size as all the rest of them. Even if it's 10% bigger, you'll naturally be more inclined to like it more. Now once your design is taking shape, drag it here and create a clipping mask to see how it stacks up against all the other ones. Analyze what's going on and take action. Do minor tweaks and see if you can nudge it to perfection. This is going to take time. You're not likely going to get it right on the first couple of tries. Remember, keep it simple, but don't under-design it. Too many Photoshop users will slam a solid colour and a white icon and they'll be happy with it. That's not enough. Speaking of that, most app icons don't feature any text, so I'd be wary of slapping a keyboard text layer on top of it. Let's switch gears and say you'll use SMS Plus as your starting point. It deals with messages, so you'd be inclined to use an envelope of sorts, right? It's not an instant chat app, by the way, so it's not a competitor to WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. If you use any envelope that's available on the web, your icon will lack character. Remember, this is the face of a business, so it has to be interesting. That's why in my live version, I used modified fonts. You want to be unique and distinguish yourself from everyone else. If you're using a font that's available anywhere on the web, chances are your icon will lack personality. To sum it up, do your best to create a fantastic-looking icon. Show it at all sizes starting from 512 and take it all the way down to 32 pixels. In the screenshot, please also include a mock-up that shows your icon versus its competitors. I suggest you visit my sites and choose either Keyboard Plus or SMS Plus, but feel free to use any other app on the market. What's important is you do your research and you put some thought into it. The same applies on iOS. I'm less interested about the platform differences and more so in your choices and your use of smart objects. So if you're an iPhone user, don't let this discourage you. Upload your work onto the platform and I'll be sure to give you my feedback. Other students may chime in as well, so you'll get a lot of constructive insight. Okay, please stop the course and get to work.